1 2 1 2. Hope everybody's good. We're just going live from Thailand again. One more Monday, one more day together with you guys in front of the charts. And I have a new background behind me, in front of me, wanted to say, right? I'm doing it from home today. It's a day off in Lithuania. It's a slow day for me as well here in Thailand. So we're taking it slow, doing it from home. I hope you're gonna certainly enjoy it because we have quite a slow day up in front of us. So the day being slow means we're gonna do a lot of talking and a lot of educational stuff. So I hope you guys were gonna like it. So let me get into it. Let me start preparing and then we're gonna have some fun. Hello, Thomas. Hope you're doing good. How's your day today? How's day away from work? And in a way, wanted to laugh at it as well because you probably, even though you're now working, you can't trade much because not much is happening, right? Yeah, I saw the entry itself. Its entry was very, very good. Nasdaq, I think it was, right? So yeah, looked good, looked cool. Too bad in a way, but at the same time, you saw what kind of price we had over the last 2 or 3 trading days during NAS NFP release last week. So it is what it is in a way. You just have to stay intact, stay in place, knowing that it's gonna pan out again, knowing that you're gonna be in front of the chart to take it again, and yeah, and it becomes a little bit easier because we together kind of, even though we were online during the streams and everything last week, we didn't take a lot of good positions, right? We even chatted a lot about it on Discord, but yeah, a lot of positions were not taken just only because of the fact that NFP is coming in. So we kind of decided not to take risk and just hold on to our balances, you know? So okay. So I'm just going through from what I see and then what I'm liking and not, and we have what? We have 10 minutes till the markets are opening up. So let's do just that, and then let me rant a little bit, right? So regarding what I'm looking for this week, we're having a little bit of a slow week this week because we have zero news coming through the markets today. We have CPI being released tomorrow at 8:30 New York time, 8:30 in the morning. And third thing is we have another day without any news drivers on Wednesday. And literally because of that fact, I already don't like the initial market conditions on the first part of this week. Second thing is that just like dollar index, majority of the charts reached our targets last Friday. That meaning the only expectation is consolidation or continuation. Retracement is possible also, but what I want to see is kind of a 50-50 personally, And because of that, I want that 50-50 to pan out in the first 3 days of the market this week and let it rip on Thursday and Friday. This is what I'm going to try to work with, and that's what I'm going to try to participate with, right? So looking at dollar index itself, very simply, we're being held in the dealing range of Friday itself. Still in a premium, but literally I'm expecting to see this move first initially. We're gonna run away from that volume imbalance, but it is what it is in a way. But then we make a decision whether we inverse this 1 hour fair value gap and we continue higher for buy stops here or not. And if not, then I'm very happy because I'm looking for lower prices this week again, right? So we're gonna see how we treat these levels and how we treat buy side resting above Friday's high. So right now market is just pushing since New York Open. No real positions offered, no entries on my end as well. So leaving that aside, let me show you something more interesting. Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is ripping. Bitcoin is ripping to the upside, and this is exactly what we wanted to see. We wanted to see higher prices on Bitcoin, and this is what we're getting. So everything above this inverted 4 hour fair value gap is bullish for me. We're getting a little bit of parabolic move right here in terms of lower highs being created. We'll see if the market breathes out a little bit, but with dollar going lower, which is my expectation, I would love to see this pushing to the upside as well. So Bitcoin done and dusted. One more chart, which is interesting for quite a few people, is gold. Gold actually is something I would suggest not to touch and stay away from, because gold just literally reached its quarterly targets in a way. We ran out these sell stops resting below, inverted this daily fair value gap, and then just sky was the limit, you know. So daily liquidity taken twice already. This 50% week level didn't hold the price as well. This was my target around 2150s, and everything above it is just something we've never seen because the market is trading at the all-time highs. And I would just leave it open for a while, let it create some structure, see what happens. And because of that, I kind of started looking at crude oil. Let me check if this is the right chart actually. Crude oil futures contract. Yes. I kind of said I'm gonna look to enter a trade on crude oil, which is gonna be fun because I'm trading on that Apex funded futures account with you guys. So I'm looking for lower prices, and initial target is 75.5 for me. And there was no positions offered today. I was looking at this, like, not looking, but like coming back to it every 15-20 minutes throughout the day during the sessions itself, but nothing, at least to my liking, was offered. But sell side is resting below. It's gonna be very nice to see it happening after the buy stops are being run through. And we called for the sell side, what is it now, 2 weeks ago? So I used to say, can I say what will happen in 15 minutes? Yeah. Can I say what is going to happen tomorrow? Yeah. What can happen in 2 weeks? Let's take a look. If I can do that, I don't know then. I'm giving up trading. I'm going to start doing something else, you know? But coming back to the chart itself, dollar index, I'm expecting it to go lower even though it is pushing to the upside right now. Buy side of Friday still not taken, so I'm not interested in it going any lower just yet. But having that in mind, Euro USD initial buy side targets are taken away from us already, and just like dollar is consolidating in Friday's range, Euro is doing exactly the same. I'm not too keen on it until we leave it, but sell side resting below here. We have a very clean 1 hour fair value gap resting over here, and I think we're just gonna get that done throughout today, and we'll see if we push lower to 808-600s at all. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. I don't mind, but I'm leaving this for today. Some structure is being created, which I'm very happy with. So we're gonna see. Similar story kind of is with dollar index as well. Not dollar index, my bad. Pound, so GBP USD. But I like this structure a lot more. Look what kind of trend line we have here. Trend lines like this never remain open. I'm not saying this for the first time, right? This 1 minute being inverted, I'm saying right away it will bring us to those sell stops resting below. And unfortunately, no entry offered. I went long in here for like 10 pips, 0.2% move, something like that. Called it on Discord as well today, so interesting. Let me know, guys, if you took it or not. I'm always interested to know and interested to hear, but sell side resting below, not much else is of my interest just yet, so we're gonna see. We're gonna let it go for a while just to see how it trades, what we get offered, and similar story to indices. So I'm not very keen on having a double chart setup in front of you with such a small monitor that I have, but this is what it is. So object tree, let me fix this so I can have everything in front of you. And initially 1 hour chart. So a few things that I'm noting to myself. This breaker block on Nasdaq is not holding the price. So interestingly enough, I wanted it to hold because I was expecting this push to this breaker on the bearish side and only then run the liquidity below. So we're gonna see what kind of trading we're gonna get offered today, but this is what I wanted to see. We're not getting that, but going into 15 minutes chart, ES is working with that breaker, right? It is being held into place, yet we have a lot of sell side resting below. So let's take a note of that. And we're gonna see if we're gonna run through it or not during today. We're trading at a low of a daily fair value gap as well, but I see already a lot of buy side resting above. So 2 levels I can work with right away for the day, which gives us a very nice range. So we're gonna evaluate it in the next half an hour. But yeah, let me know, guys, though, if the noises around me are too loud for you or not. But if it is, I'll try to do something about it. Just let me know, though. And Nasdaq itself, looking at the Nasdaq, so the structure is not holding the price into place as I wanted it to. But again, we have sell side resting below. Nasdaq did not create a lower low earlier today, which I'm happy with. This is good. Sell side resting below, and we have shitloads of buy side above. At current new week opening, there's no actual current new week opening gap, to be fair with you, but so we have a very nice range, just like we do with the S. And we're gonna see what the market opening gives us. Whatever way it goes, I want to see one or another happening. If sell side gets taken, we're gonna look for an entry towards buy side resting above at 18,056. If we continue pushing up to the upside and we run out 18,056, I'm entering shorts from there, or I'm gonna look for short entries from this 1 hour fair value gap resting above. So 2 very clean levels that we want to work with. And I like this structure, not like it is in Euro USD or GBP USD or even in dollar index itself. I like the structure so far, and then we're gonna see if we can get something to work with. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm looking at for today and for the rest of the week actually as well. I'm expecting this consolidation to continue today, and then we're gonna take a look at what we get tomorrow during CPI, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we can start playing around with it, which is gonna be just great. And let me open dollar index for myself, just to make my life easier. And we'll see if we can find something to work with or not. Okay. So market opening up, already some SMTs in place. So we're not in sync just yet, but we're here just to evaluate kind of today, to talk it through, to see what we can work with, right? And yeah. And I remember, I think from Domus, there was a request if I can go through a few things today during the stream. So let me do that. Let's see. Where can we find some clean space? Remove drawings for now. Here we go. Domus actually requested fibs. Yes, you're still here. So let me actually do more than that, if you don't mind, right? So I'm using quite an extensive array of predefined templates for myself. I'm gonna take a while here though, so stay with me. If you're looking at the charts, continue watching it, but I'm not gonna trade anything until 10 a.m. So I have half an hour to talk about this in front of you guys. So trend lines, right? And so let's do something different. Let me check. So we have ESM 2024. Let's do that. It's gonna be a clean slate for us. And trend lines itself, I use quite a variety of trend lines, right? So please I don't mind you taking screenshots. I'm here to help. So let me talk about what I have, right? So trend lines itself, right? I use them a lot. I use them every day. So I'm literally trying to avoid, this might sound weird, but the more buttons I press, that means the more time I waste. So since I'm pressing about like whatever, 3,000, 4,000 mouse buttons every single day, if I can make it to 2,000 from 4,000, why not, right? So I'm thinking in that way while it's using templates. So templates itself, I'm using quite a few things on the trend lines. So it is bearish breakout block, order block itself, which is possibly bearish or bullish. Sometimes I play with 8:30 or 9:30 opening prices, so I have templates for that, right? Break of market structure. This is something that we all work with on constant basis. And then I have some buy-side liquidity levels that I play with. So whether it is a daily liquidity or just buy-side resting above, you see how much time is safe while it's not having to type it out. And consequent encroachment for 50% levels. Fair value gaps in terms of drawing two lines to note that. That is quite self-explanatory as well. Midnight open, partials being taken. This is all you guys can work with, and maybe some other things that not many traders use, which is I always have a template for previous day highs and lows, which I'm always noting. These are templates for that, so it makes it very easy to use. SMTs, one of the best things that we know about trading ICT concepts, right? Together with me. And sell side, just like buy side levels, resting below. easy to use, sell side in general, daily liquidity above or below the market price, right? And then 2 leftovers is target, right? So instead of me drawing the lines and punching information in, I have a template for targets as well, where it's short targets or buy targets. So yeah, templates on horizontal lines, trend lines here, right? Boxes itself have mainly fair value gaps here, but there's a few other things, right? So I note agent range, so I use a template for that. Fair value gaps, as you see, corrections are some places in the market that I want to see a correction in it, reversal, turning a market price turning around. So I always have these in front of me, and then I use inverted fair value gaps, right? Last time I used it was 5 minutes, so you get a 5-minute template in front of you, and then I use OTEs and price gaps in terms of I use that for new day opening gaps, right? So it literally it's a template that pushes the box to the right, which is quite useful. Another template is horizontal lines. So buy side, sell side resting above, self-explanatory, but maybe 2 or 3 other horizontal lines that I use that you might not is for opening price. Just do golden lines for that. I use volume imbalances a lot on daily and 4-hour. So volume imbalance is something as a template I use as well. And new week opening gaps, which is something that I really want you guys to learn, and then we're gonna continuously talk about it a lot, right? Everything. So first 3, take your time, stop the video, do copy paste it, I don't mind. Everything else is very self-explanatory in terms of notes, buy and sell positions, vertical line, arrows, brushes, but fibs is something that I see Twitter community and even my own Discord community asking a lot about. Domas asked about it today even. So there's a few fib setups that I use. One of it is 1 standard deviation. Why I do that? Because I always want to know, so if we have a ranging market right here, what is the range itself and how much it is if we take that range and double it, right? How far away from it are we? So if you want to take a screenshot of this, these are the settings of me using that 1 standard deviation, and I have always premium discount with 50% level and 3 main optimal trade entry guidelines here with 62, with 79 and 70.5 resting in the middle, and 70.5 according to ICT is the golden level. So I love using that. I love working with that. Okay. Another fib is 50%. So just to find discount and premium, self-explanatory. Flout is something that I use for measurements and scaling targets, right? So if I have something, let's say like this that I want to play with, right? I want to see where I'm scaling off, right? So if I'm entering a trade which has a range, a predetermined range, right? I want to see where I take the initial target, 2 standard deviations, 3, and I think it goes even to 10 or something like that. So this is a fun fib, and fib levels for this are found here. Okay, so it goes to 5 standard deviations. So take a screenshot of this, make your own adjustments, feel free. So fib flout, optimal trade entry, I just explained about it, so I just use that for optimal trade entry. I haven't shown it on stream ever yet, so not too popular, I guess. Regular fib, self-explanatory again, it just has a lot more flouting standard deviations. So take a look at these levels. I'm always playing around with them. And final one, TJF. So TJF is a lovely setup that I like to use. So For example, if the market was trading on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, Wednesday, whatever, to the downside, let's do it differently. If the market was trading to the upside from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, created a high on Thursday, Friday, I want to see a retracement to 20 or 30% level. So I have actually a fib for that. If there's a fair rally gap in this range at 20-30%, I always take those setups to short if the market was going to the upside the whole week. So I even have a fib ready to go for this. So put this on your templates list. I think it can be helpful. Yeah. So I hope you like this. I hope you enjoyed this and you can take good use of it. And I'm gonna come back to charts and then talking about charts now. So only 10 minutes wasted of your time. I hope it wasn't wasted though. I hope you enjoyed it, okay? And you can find use of that. So let me see. Nasdaq is ready. ESH 2024. Yes, ready to go as well. So what are we dealing with, right? Had sell side resting below on both charts, which is unfortunate that ES didn't take it out just yet. But let me know the opening range itself. So low of the range on ES is resting right here. High of the range is resting above this price. Some buy stops resting above right here as well. So ES is still very boring. No openings, no fair value gaps, just consolidation, which we expected. And Kyoto is making some plays. So Bicep is resting above at 1840s and 1856. I'm interested in that, and we are getting a V-shaped formation with an inverted 1 minute fair value gap right here. And not only that, we're getting a SMD into 1 minute inversion setup happening as well. So I'm not in the trade because I was showing you my fib levels, but possible entry for almost 100 handles for you guys. Let me know actually if you guys are in a trade, but you would be scaling off a partial right here. Target buys. So we have an SMD in Q compared to ES right here. We have a V formation entry with inverted for value gap that didn't hold the price to the downside. Buy stops resting above, so partial is being taken away right here, and full on scale to 18056 if you're guys in a trade still. Lovely setup. I love what I see. So far so good. Maybe we're gonna have a interesting session, right? Or let's say something that we can work with, right? So we'll see. But this is a possible setup for you guys, right here, right there. Here we go, for everybody's information. So we already have done a few things. Screenshots taken down. That's good. Happy to know, man. And as always, happy to help as well, right? Happy to share, happy to help. Not a problem. So I'm just opening a few more charts on the iPad next to me, so can be a little bit more helpful for you guys. Yeah. Possible new entry if the price reaches the inverted for value gap. For me, no. So I think Friday or Thursday last week when we had that private session on Discord, we talked about it. So why there wouldn't be another setup if, for example, if you're late to enter it? Be my guest. right? Stop the stream if you wanna make a list of convictions why you wouldn't enter from here, but the answer is very simple. Inversion, SMT into inversion setup for me, at least in a high probability market conditions, works not from time to time, but works kind of always if buy side resting above is not taken. So we already have buy side resting above taken, so a retracement into this inverted fair value gap to push to the upside is not high probability trade for me anymore. Yes, it can happen. Yes, you can get winners out of this, but buy side is already taken, so I'm only interested in the market pushing to the upside continuously, not retracing anymore. Retracement shows weakness. I'm not interested in participating in a weak market anymore, right? So to answer your question now, you can do it, you can play around with it. With my experience, it's not a good idea. Sorry about this. I took a little bit of notes, but yeah, this position for me is very simple. I would have scaled off it already. Stop loss would be at a break even already as well. So to answer your questions, guys, no, I wouldn't be in a trade right now. Though, since you're active and you're here, how's the video quality so far? I'm doing it not from the office. I'm doing it from home. How's my connection? How's the internet, if I can say, right? Very good. Awesome, man. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, no entry for me from here. I would be actually stopped out in this trade right now. So keep that in mind. And yeah, we're waiting for a setup on the Apex funded account that We started on March 1st. We're 0.4% up on that account, and yep, we're gonna see if we can find something to work with today in about 10 minutes from now. So I like the buy stops being taken away from the market at this point. That's very good. That is something we can work with. 10 to 10 is a very good time. So we'll see. We'll see if we get anything additional offered. And from looking at the chart itself, I have to note these two levels, right? I want to, so for push to the upside to continue, I want this fair value gap on both ES and NQ to get inverted. So we're literally gonna wait for that. And to be fair with you, so let's take a look. Not too big of a trade this would be. But I like the fact that south side resting below was taken. And this inversion is an SMT as well. So 2 contracts for yes. We're gonna see. Not sure yet. Not sure just yet, but we're gonna see, okay? So far not. So yeah. We're gonna see if ES pushes any lower from where we are at right now. So we have a high of the range. Right now creating a low of the range. Yeah. No inversion, right? But who's gonna tell me what kind of setup we have panning out right now on NQ? What kind of setup we're learning constantly? Last 2-3 weeks? YouTube 2022? Can I be right? Buy side being taken, going high, break of structure below this, your value gap, enter, sell stops resting below, 60 handles with what? 10 handles risk, 1 to 6. Who's in the trade? quite a lot of possible entries already, right? And Q suggested the push to the upside, and Q is giving an U2 2022 model entry right now as well. Yes, pushing the range to the downside as well. This could be a top actually. Nothing contradicts with it in a way, because we're expecting lower prices basically. Buy side targets were just initially on the internal liquidity, but yeah. Is this an inversion setup? Not for me. We're way too deep into discount right here. Just a few minutes until 10 a.m. where we will try to look for an entry, but very simply with you guys, I wanted the price to be held into this consolidation a little bit longer. So the only possibility that I'm seeing kind of right now is that yes would break below this sell side liquidity resting above, and maybe we see a possible buy entry towards 51.20s, maybe 51.26 and a half, whatever, yeah, and a quarter. Maybe we do get that, because right now it's there's no SMTs just yet, so we have to wait it out a little bit longer, a little bit more. Keep watching that 1 minute fair value gap on ES. I'm not suggesting this is a bottom of the range because sell side is resting below, but in short term, just keep this in mind. But I can't play with this. There's nothing just yet that I can work with. And going lower would just open up the range even more, which I'm happy to work with. So there's no issues with that. But 2 trades on the yes, we're off on in queue. Sorry, we're offered already today. So we had a possible buy entry for these buy stops resting above from this 1 minute inversion. And we have a YouTube 2022 panning out with sell side resting below. So if you're in that YouTube 2022, don't forget to scale off right now. Yep, sell side taken. Beautiful setup here. 60 handles with what, 12 handles risk. 1 to 6 risk reward. Very good stuff. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes. I'm gonna see which pair I like more in terms of buy stops, sell stops, resting above, below market price, right? And we're gonna pick that. We're gonna watch it on one side of the on the stream, And the other side of the stream, we're gonna dedicate to getting ready for what's to come in the next quarter, because at some point this week we're gonna be looking at a switch to from March contracts on majority of the future pairs to June contract. So we were looking and talking with the crew in Discord today a little bit on where to look for information like that and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna show everything about that for you guys today. And we're gonna go into at least preparing one of the setups. So whether it is going to be yes or in queue, let me see. Put it in the comments on the stream itself. If you are interested in one or another, I'm not gonna do Dow Jones. Sorry about that. But if you can put whether you want to see ES or in Q in terms of a possible June contract preparation work together with you guys, I'll be happy to do it. Sell side taken. Yes, right. Unfortunately, breakout structure is a little bit far away from us. We'll see. We'll see if there is something we can work with. Okay. If it continuously just goes lower from where we are at right now, I'm not interested in this because I have a lot of buy side resting below on both ES and NQ. Yep. Take a look at dollar index and all that good stuff. Dollar is just going for those buy stops resting above, just like we wanted. 102, 900s are being tagged actually right now. Keep that in mind. This might allow the market to take a turn with these. I said not backed in yet, so just 102, 900s. Put that on your chart and then monitor and see what indices will do with that. Okay. Let me open up Euro actually. Euro sell side taken. Sell side, not sell side. Friday's lows being taken. GU still has some way to go, but we have a very clean break of structure on probably like 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. 5 minutes as well. So we'll see if we push any higher. And yeah, dollar is still not breaking that high. So let's see. Um, I'm literally just gonna let it run for 5 more minutes. You guys let me know which index you like more, which index you want me to play with to start with, because I'm not sure if I'll have the energy to do both charts, because prepping a chart for next 3 months is you're gonna see it ain't gonna happen in 3 minutes. You know, it will take half an hour, 45 minutes at least. Oh yeah. So dollar index took out biceps resting at 102,900s, right? Sell side taking on EU, sell side not taking on GU, so we're getting a little bit of SMTs right here. Gonna see if this kind of, how to say, this gives any structure we can work with on indices down the line for today. And yeah, so we have a very clean SMT on NQ. 1 minute for value gap that we can work with as well. I'm noting that. Inversion setup, very possibly, but I'd much rather take it on yes instead of NQ, but on the yes side, I don't see any fair value gaps I can work with, right? So 3, 2, 3, no, 4 minutes maybe, but yeah. So SMT is right here in terms of lower low on ES, but a higher low on NQ, right? We just need to see the inversion itself now, or a possible entry. Have a breaker block. So if you guys are interested, breaker block in terms of something that would allow the market to push lower, but very honestly, we're in discount right now. I want this buy side resting above to be taken away. Not saying that I'm right to look for a setup like this, but very simply, high, low, higher high, lower low right here. Breaker block is this one big ass candle. Everything below it, 2% level of it, even top of it, is bearish now. So keep in mind. Keep in mind. This is a 5 minutes for valid gap. I'm taking a note as well. So yes, looking like this bounce of this old new week opening gap would be awesome. I'm happy to see that. SMT possibly again, right? SMT. Have a very clean 1 minute fair value gap here that we can take as inversion setup. Or buy stops resting above this. This could be a few percentage points trade actually even. So let's see this panning out. I would love to see NQ not going any lower from here though, for this SMT to hold. And yeah, very clean buy side liquidity level resting above the current market price at 5119. Even though my bias is bearish, so what I'm doing here, yes, my bias is bearish on higher time frame, right? But I'm not interested in that bias panning out up until Thursday this week. Why? Because we're lacking news today. We have CPI release tomorrow. Wednesday, lack of news again. CPI is just gonna kill the market. You're gonna notice if you come at 8:30 a.m. New York time tomorrow. Not to this stream. I won't stream tomorrow at that time. But if you watch your charts live at 8:30 New York time tomorrow, you're gonna see the rip. And right now, because of that, I don't have much higher time frame bias considerations. Instead, in terms of taking a setup, I'm just looking at the chart and what it is presenting to me today, right? So we had an inversion setup after SMT and sell side taken on NQ. We had YouTube 2022 short on NQ as well. Two amazing setups, but I have zero regrets of not taking it, just like I didn't take a lot of trades last week. I didn't take these two positions again, even though if this YouTube 2022 would have been something that I've noticed, I literally talk about Fibonacci's and all that good stuff during I'm kidding, but I would have taken this trade if I would have noticed. So this one probably not, because the risk reward was too little, even though we have buy side resting above, but risk reward too little for me. This YouTube 2022 was in an amazing position to take out this sell side resting below here. You got that. Make a guess why the market is consolidating now? Because it did the move that everybody was looking for already. We can see there's no liquidity, there's no orders in the market left, whatever, but the only truth is that the algo delivered, right? Algo delivered, so it has to start another power of 3 move. What is power of 3? It is something that happens every single day, every 1 hour candle, every 5-minute candle, whatever. So the market is accumulating now, has to manipulate and distribute. So we're just looking for the second stage of the power of 3 itself now. And I hope the manipulation that we can participate in is gonna be toward the buy side, resting above. So, as for sell side, to be taken below us, which is existent 17824 on NQ. We're too deep in a discount now. I can't participate in this. So, if you just rewatch what I said in the last 2 minutes, you can write down like 15 rules that you can use. And every single rule I just said is gonna be something that saves you from blowing your account in unnecessary conditions. So. If we get this offered, yep, I'm getting into this position. Possibly 20 handles. Amazing, actually. Yeah. I'd love this not to rip to the upside that quickly, to be fair, but this is what it is in a way. Can't really do much about it, but I'd love the market to give us a chance to participate, to work with it, but yeah. If we get this offered fully, we're gonna be risking about full on 0.5% move. But we'll see. I'm not sure if we get this fully, but just considering what we have in front of us right now is I want to see this 5-minute fair value gap being pushed to the upside. Probably we won't even retrace anymore for that 1-minute entry. Sadly, but yeah. This is what it is though. I'm just gonna be content with what we get. So we just got a 5-minute inversion offered as well. If you take a look here. Very nice. I won't re-enter though. I'm just gonna let it stay. And I'm looking at the Nasdaq. I won't participate neither. I'm just gonna wait it out. Gonna let the market show its hand. And if we go lower to pick up this entry, I'm happy with it as well. If we don't, we don't. It's alright also. And just quickly, let me take a look at... So yeah, dollar index is giving us what we need in a way. Yeah. And I'm just taking a look at a buy side taken, push to the downside, break of structure as well. Euro USD doing exactly the same actually. So something that we can work with as well. And let's see. GBP, nope. And we're back to reality in a way. So we're in trade, right? And setup is very simple. I'm watching a 1 minute inversion panning out. We entered a bit high, but it's alright. So we are 4 handles or so away from the inversion itself. And on 5 minutes, this is an order block, right? So let's take a look if there's anything that you can see additionally. I'm not gonna move this buy limit. If we get it offered, we do. If we don't, we don't. Fine by me. And yeah, I'm gonna stick to this, which is an SMT, with SMT happening not in a random place on ES. SMT is happening on an old new week opening gap level right here, right there. Beautiful delivery actually, and I'm expecting that buy side resting at the opening range highs to be delivered too. If we don't get this buy limit offered, we don't, but we might. And then the fun begins, because then we have to start managing the position itself, right? So 0.5% risk taken, full on position. I can't risk any more on a day like this, and we're literally just gonna watch it play out. And after we do that, actually we're gonna see if we're actually gonna, because I'm gonna possible trade entry will be enough for me. And we're gonna start looking at the prep work that I promised in terms of getting ready for the new delivery contract. So we're gonna do one contract for sure today in front of you guys. We're gonna see if we have time for more, but if we don't, we don't. But I don't like this happening right now at all. Like literally at all. But NQ is not offering lower lows neither. But the market literally just pushed way too deep for me. Order block though on paper is still holding, right? So I'm just trying to focus to understand what I want to do with this position. If we don't get it, that means that I'm just simply wrong in terms of this being a short-term low. However much I would love to see that. Can be wrong. That's not an issue. And let's take a look. ESM 2024. NQM 2024. Yeah, so the price is very similar to what we have on both indices. But probably the issue of my bias being bearish, and kind of told you why already, why I'm not trusting it full on. But yeah, this might be the issue for today. If it is this, fine by me, but yeah. We can look into this. Possible short entry. So this is on a very low time frame. It should be like 5-15 seconds time frame, but on that time frame we have buy side resting above, buy side being taken, right? You definitely have a swing low on this candle on lower time frames, seconds, 5 seconds maybe, probably. And you have fair value gaps here, so, and sell side resting below, so short entry happening right now on NQ possibly. On very low time frames, like scalping time frames. Nothing that I can work with in front of you guys, sadly, but yeah. This could be a very nice trade if it gets delivered. I don't like how deep it dig, probably, right? Who knows grammar better than I do? But I don't like the fact how deep it dig into the discount again on the retracement itself, so and it's not nice in a way to start the week with the loser, because we're gonna have rough trading conditions tomorrow. So yeah. But yep, so literally guys, one more time, right? So setup that was quite cleanly delivered is SMTs, ES versus NQ with 1 minute inversion being offered. We entered from this candle with one contract, which was a good idea. Bad idea was to wait for the full-on inversion to happen, and it wasn't, how to say, bad idea on paper. The only thing that I dislike about this entry right now is how deep into this inverted fair gap we're digging into, right? Don't like the fact that we're closing below it. Because of this 5-minute order block, if you take a look on 5 minutes, you will see an order block right here. Because of this 5-minute order block, I'm still in position. If I wouldn't have that order block right there, I would be scaling down. So 3 contracts right now, I would be scaling down to 1, probably. Not even 2. I would be scaling down by 2 to 1. But since we have that order block still holding the price, I'm in a position. But I'm literally gonna give this trade maximum 21 more minutes, so 20 more minutes. If it doesn't pan out, it doesn't, so yeah. And very simply, if we're wrong on this one, we're wrong because we didn't trust the daily bias, which is bearish. We have sell stops resting below on daily chart, on 4-hour chart. So very simple stuff, at least for me. So this not panning out would mean that we just didn't trust the daily bias, right? This panning out though, we have buy side resting above and a very juicy take profit together with it. So Much happier faces, right? Weird question. Does my face even change when the price starts moving towards the direction I want to see it going? I would guess it doesn't, but if it does, let me know then. Totally. How come, man? So let's see at our possible scaling off, possible ways of scaling out of this trade. Still have that buy side resting above. Even this could be a draw on liquidity towards the new week opening gap of this week, but I can't play with such massive runners on a day like this. But yeah, so this is around 50% of the range, isn't it? Yeah. So 50% of the range. We have a fair value resting right here. So what kind of 900? I like that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna scale half of the position off at the 50% level, which is that fair value gap next to it. We're gonna scale another contract right above this order block, and we're gonna be very happy. I'm gonna move this cost up above the market, the entry we had as well, and the one contract scaled off. Let me show you the executions as well. I'm going towards break even now as well. So we still have two contracts. Break even placed. I'm laughing that Thomas said that my face changes totally to a brighter side, whatever other side I have when in front of the charts. That is funny though. That is. Sorry for the fact that I'm watching the phone so much. What I'm literally doing is I'm scaling off the positions on the trades that I have on my personal account running as well. When I do it in the streaming setup, it's actually a lot easier because I have more monitors to play with. But I can't do it right now. I took a lazy way out in a way. Scaling down one more. Took a lazy way out of today because I knew that it's a day off in Lithuania, so I took a day off as well. We spent the day in the morning just here at the house. I let my girlfriend's father go back to Lithuania as well, and now we were just eating some food and chilling as well. So I kind of said, okay, let's just do it from home. Planned in a way, unplanned, whatever, but makes it a little bit easier, more chill. But yeah. So very, very honestly, guys, let me grab a sip of water. Let me give me 2 minutes basically. And after 2 minutes, we're gonna let me know what index you want to see. I'm preferring ES over NQ just to make my life easier because I always start with ES. And after 2 minutes, I'm gonna be back with you and we're gonna jump into prepping for the June futures contract. So be right back. Guess who's back? um, we literally got a stop out here on what is it? 800 bucks, so 0.8%. Good stuff on a day like this, good stuff. So let me just put down a few notes on my journal and I'm gonna be back with you. So yeah, guys, literally right now, I'm not gonna put any more risk. I'm not gonna trade anymore today. I'm gonna contend with enough. I'm gonna be happy with what I got already, especially on a day like this where my expectations are very low. Let's just take a look. Still like the sell side resting below. Whatever happens today, whatever we get offered, still like sell side resting below. And literally, with that in mind, let's jump right into it, which is yes, and the new futures contract. So very simply, let me start with saying you have to use barchart.com, right? So if we go to barchart.com, you have to enter this website once a quarter, basically. And why is it once a quarter? Because you want to know what kind of setups you're looking at in terms of futures contract being matured, right? So every option trader talks a lot about their maturity rates, when their contracts are maturing, when they're looking to get out of their positions, and so on and so forth. We use it for open interest, basically. So just to give you an example, right now on ES 500, we're trading a March futures contract. We actually were on a live stream just recently, opening a position, banked 0.8% actually on the account, which I'm very happy with on a day like this. But anyhow, coming back to the topic, since it is a March contract, we have to switch the contract when March contract expires and matures, right? So how do I know and how do I track what kind of information track once a month in terms of what kind of contract I'm working with, right? And the information is very simple. Barchart.com, you select a commodity, which is, we're talking about S&P 500, in other terms ES, and we were just trading ES March contract in front of you guys, and we have an open interest of 1.7k million, whatever. I don't even care what that number means, but June interest is 700k. It was literally 600k 2 hours ago, when I checked with my Discord crew. And very simply, as soon as the open interest for the next upcoming month, which is contract of June 2024, becomes higher than the current month's contract's interest, we're shifting into another chart on TradingView, and we're doing our analysis not on March or ESH 2024 contract, but we're moving to June, and month of June is something that I'm gonna try to prepare in front of you guys, and so let me do just that. So we were working with ESH, which we were working with ESH 2024, which stands for E-mini S&P 500 futures March contract, and M is a letter for June. So we're gonna open up June contract, and we're gonna start taking a look with what do we see. Okay, so in preparation to the upcoming 3 months of work, basically, I'm just literally gonna do my chart in front of you guys, and if you find it insightful, let me know. So monthly order block resting right here. We're taking a note of that right away. This is something we're gonna have to see if we can work with or not later down the line. And next, just 1 second, I'm sorry, just have to check if I closed all the positions on the ES trade from a little bit earlier. Yeah, we've got it done, so we're all good. Sorry about this. But literally, so I'm gonna go through the process with you guys in terms of what I'm trying to work with. And on monthly chart, that order block, let's just keep it in mind. Don't have to keep it on the chart necessary, but we have a weekly fair value gap here, and we have a weekly order block resting right below it. So on the weekly chart, we have a bullish OB that I'm marking off, and we have a very nice bullish structure right here in terms of a weekly fair value gap, and one more weekly fair value gap resting right below. Yeah. What else do we note? We note sell side resting below, and we note buy side resting below. Current market price. So this is the dealing range we're working with, and on that dealing range I'm interested to see equilibrium, right? So everything above this weekly fair value gap is premium, below it discount. So if we start pushing below, this is an interest point for me to continue higher. Very, very simple. Put it down in your notes. You're gonna see that panning out at some point. Why? Posted this on Discord as well. Structure like this, which is a trend line, right? Everybody's drawing a trend line right here. Structure like this never stays in place. It never does. Just trust me on that, right? So let's start playing around with it. So that weekly fair value gap, all good right there. First thing that I have to note is daily sell side liquidity resting below here. A little bit of sell stops and a swing low actually resting below here. And sell side resting below. Last week lows. And one more thing that I have to put in my notes is a weekly volume imbalance right here. And guys, very simply, if you want me to stop somewhere, explain something, just let me know. I'm happy to do that, whether it will be Discord later, live stream right now, whatever it is. But these are my daily levels that I'm gonna try to work with. I'm not noting this volume imbalance because we have an order block, no order block here. We have an order block right here. So I just have to keep in mind this daily liquidity and keep a note of this fair value gap itself, which has a low right here in mind, but not gonna over clutter the chart itself, right? And one more nice thing that I do to myself, not that I'm trying to hurt myself, whatever, but I'll keep these as weekly PD arrays, right? These are weekly PD arrays, and and these are what? These are daily PD arrays, right? And these are also daily PD arrays. So we're gonna start creating groupings here. Daily. What did we call these seconds ago? Weekly, right? So it just makes my life a little bit easier. Getting control of it and maybe hiding something I don't want to see, right? So, and I'm gonna use this chart setup for the next 3 months. So I'm gonna put a little bit of work into it, okay? Otherwise, what else do we see? We see a possible inversion panning out right here, right there. I'm not gonna note it on the chart, but just an interest point for me. So we have all-time highs that I will note to myself as well. And we'll see if we can work with it. So going lower for our chart, right? There is nothing that pulls my interest right away. This run to the downside Yeah, but I won't know that at all. Price I taken last week, we created an all-time high. This is what is holding the price in right now, right? So I'll take a note of that. But I'm just literally gonna jump straight into 1 hour chart. And you see how much I'm not looking too much, how I'm not looking too much backwards in terms of charting itself. So I'm just literally not doing it because I don't trust in the market remembering and the algo remembering anything that is longer than 60 candles. So just if you take a look on the hourly chart, this is where 60 candles is. So I'm not interested in any fair value gaps below or anything like that. The market is probably just gonna rip through that. But what I'm interested is in what is happening in the last 60 candles, right? So we have a 1 hour fair value gap right here. What I'm noting also is a bearish breaker block. What else can we work with? Let's note this fair value gap pushing the price to the downside, meaning that I will know that it is not actually necessary to go up into that point to attack that bearish order block, breaker block, right? Because we already worked with it. So let's do this. Sell side resting below here. Yes, please. Do we have anything else we want to work with? I'm also just looking at the setup I had from on my hourly chart on the old contract. And we actually don't have anything else. We just have a lot of sell side in terms of daily liquidity resting below. And this is becoming a quick one, right? So 15 minutes chart. Very clean. Buy side resting above. And noting that. All-time highs. Breaker again. There's nothing that is an interest for me on the left except this 15 minutes fair value gap. So I'm gonna call the market right here, right there. This is gonna be recorded though, guys. So it's probably gonna post in a few days from now, whatever it is. But watch this. Just for tape reading purposes, come back to the video, come back to what I talk about here. Almost 1 to 2x the reward if this closes above 15 minutes inversion panning out. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm actually done with the 1 hour notes. So let's do this in terms of 1 hour, right? And we had 15-minute notes. So let's do that. I'm never actually keeping 15-minute notes on my index charts, but what I always do is new week and new day opening gaps, right? So this usually takes a little bit longer because what I'm interested in is I'm interested in pulling all that data from previous charts onto the current one, right? So current week, new week opening gap is always easy. We just got that done. But what will become more interesting is all the previous new day and new week opening gaps, right? So for new day opening gaps, let's just do 3. This will be a lot of boring and then of boring scrolling, right? So we have 1 new day opening gap. Let's do Wednesday to Thursday last week. we're getting that done. And we probably won't do anymore because literally I already see that how choppy the price is. So I'm not gonna waste any time on that. And since new day opening gaps are not that important in terms of keeping them for a long time, I usually get rid of them quite quickly, 2-3 days after I use them. So, and watch this, watch this panning out. So, but yeah, what I have to do though is scroll quite a lot in terms of new week opening gaps. So we're gonna see when the markets get choppier and not too nice to play with, but we're gonna see if we can get, sorry about this, we're gonna see if we can do a few new week opening gaps onto the chart. But I'm just checking if I missed anything of importance that I wanted to work with from my old setups. So buy side resting above, we have that, not an issue. New week opening gap, and I'll do two to three new week opening gaps for myself, and just simply to have it on the chart. And if I'll see that the market is way too choppy, I won't keep them, but this is good enough. We can work with that. So one, let's see, what do we have? Thursday, Friday, Thursday, Friday, right? Thursday, Friday. And we should be zooming in at some point here. Sunday. Yeah. So this is interesting. We won't even be able to play with it too much in terms of new week opening gaps. Because we're literally are not able to do it, because the only stuff that we can see on our chart is the current new week opening gap and new week opening gap resting right above it. So I'm putting that on my charts, moving them onto my, let's do this and this into my setup, and we're gonna see. So two new week opening gaps, market currently bouncing from that 4-hour fair value gap. And my interest for this week is very simple. Everything below this breaker block, you can see it much better on 1-hour chart, is bearish for me. So buy side, even though resting above, I'm interested in that being taken, but I want sell side targets to get placed in a way. Yet if we start pushing upwards from this or breaker block into this 1-hour fair value gap, I'm not really interested in 50% level being broken, because we have a order block in that 1-hour fair value gap. So I'm noting this order block on 15 minutes chart, and I'm gonna put it as my report on this upcoming week. Everything below this order block and 1-hour fair value gap is towards sell stops, resting below 5120 ish, right, as daily liquidity. All times highs are still my interest, but I'm not interested in them being taken up until the point breaker block, order block, and that 1-hour fair value gap holds the price. Okay? This buy side is being taken though, and kind of guarantee that. Let's go to NQH 2024, just to take a look at what we're dealing with right now. And having that in mind, let's prep the NQM 2024, so we can have the charts ready for the next 3 months as well. So keep in mind of this order block on monthly, and this gives a much better picture in a way of price action that we can work with. So we have an order block on weekly right here, right there. We have a very clean structure in terms of push to the upside beforehand, downside resting below, and a weekly fair value gap right here. So we have a dealing range that we can work with, right? Buy side liquidity. This is in terms of all-time highs, right? A lot of weekly PD arrays though, which I like. I like that. And sell side resting below here. So this goes quickly, but in a way, why it does? Because I know what I'm looking for. So this is simply that monthly order block. I want the price to draw into it before going higher. So what kind of PD arrays I'm working with? The price will get stuck here at the order block. Sell side liquidity as a target, and low of the quarter probably at this weekly fair value gap. If we go any lower from where we are right now, right? Sounds simple, but yeah, you kind of get used to looking at the chart, and you just simply start looking at what is being placed in front of you, and you don't try to work with anything else but the price that is being delivered for you. So on daily, liquidity resting below here, and sell side resting below here as well. I won't note this, but what I'm gonna note is this volume imbalance holding the price in, right? And what else can we work with? Sell side resting below, daily liquidity, that's cool and good. Anything else I want to note? Fair value gap. So this is gonna be interesting. We have the same fair value gap here on daily, just like we had on an ES. So we're gonna see if we bounce away from it or not. But I don't really care because I know that we're delivering lower prices, at least for now. So we're gonna see how we can work with that. Interestingly enough, NQ broke below this 4-hour fair value gap, right? So I'll keep it to my notes, and very simple. Similar setups. I'm looking at both charts, right? NQ 1-hour fair value gap resting above the market price with a breaker block right inside of it. This looks a lot better than it did on yes. So I'm gonna be interested in trading NQ a little bit more compared to yes this week probably, right? Otherwise, sell side being taken, so push to that order block is very appreciated. Bounce here towards 1800s, it would be awesome. So we'll see if we can do that. 1 hour for value gap though here, pushing the price to the downside. I'm noting that. Buy side liquidity resting above here. A note on that. And that's it. I don't have much else to work with. The only thing that maybe it helps to know that buy side was taken here, so it could be something that we can note better. Just not to miss it when the setup comes into place later this week. So 1 hour notes. Going lower into 15 minutes. Exactly the same like we had on ES as well. Bearish order block, 15 minutes chart. I'm noting that, and that's it for my 15-minute notes actually. I don't have anything else to work with here. But what we can work with is new week, new day opening gaps. So let's do that. Bum, ba, dum, bum. Current new week opening gap right here, right there. We know that, and then we go into at least a few new day opening gaps, and after that I'm gonna be done and dusted with my prep work for the upcoming 3 months. So what is it, 20 minutes into the game? And I'm almost done, and you see how easy that is, and how easy it is to maintain as well. If you just follow what I do step by step, you can easily get to this in no time as well. So we have a new day opening gap right here. Let's take a look if there's more cleaner price action we can work with. Not really. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna note this. No, I won't. And I'm gonna look for new week opening gap from a week ago and see if we have anything clear to work with. We do. So we're gonna take a note of these bad boys right here, which is right here and right here. And that will be enough for me. So we're literally gonna keep this here. We're gonna do new week opening gaps here, and we're gonna group it together as well. And with grouping it together, very simply what I do, so this is not cluttered at all because there's only a few lines on the chart, but sometimes it gets cluttered up, so I just group it together and then I can just hide it or display it in front of me, and it becomes very easy. So I hope you like this, hope you enjoyed this, and very simply guys, not only I'm finishing my setup for the next few months and showing that for you guys, I'm finishing the stream today as well. So hope you liked it, hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful rest of the Monday, and see you guys tomorrow, this time on Discord actually, privately, and we're going back live on YouTube on Wednesday again. So